Begin with that talk. Professor Vivek Gupta had a request. He wanted to show something interesting. So we can, before the chairpersons and the moderators for the next session comes, I think he can present his talk. Welcome. Try to complete in 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah.
10 minutes, thank you Rahul and Dr. Ankur for giving me this opportunity to talk in the last minute here. Transcatheter aortic valve.
Meanwhile, all the chairpersons, moderators for the next session, I think they can take the dais so that we begin on time.
Can I start now?
Yes.
So, this is a very dear topic for me because I work with Dr Cribier. And first of all, I thank once again the GIST organizing committee, Dr. Rahul and Dr. Ankur, to give me this opportunity for the first time, which was a very, very successful conference. I have next 10 minutes with me. Why this talk is so important and so close to my heart, because I work with Dr. Cribier, who is the father of TAVI. As we all know, the first in man was done in 2002, April 16. I worked with him in the period of so I will have some tribute to Dr. Cribier and also bedside to bedside how actually the innovation took place. So I had a wonderful stay with him and I worked with the government of France as a fellow, 1996 to 98. And I had a very special relationship, unfortunately very close. When he wrote the certificate also, one of the most enjoyable relationship he said in his certificate which he gave to me. The few videos I would like to share because he's unfortunately no more. This is the first TAVI from India, November 2011, when TAVI was not allowed not yet approved by TCGI. So we took the patient from India, from Apollo Hospital and then took it. First in man was done, of course we know, this is celebration 2022, but I would like to show you a few memorable videos, especially this one if we can have the sound, because what he spoke on in 9 December 2023 and 2024 he was no more. He never expected
Dr. Cribier, who is the father of transcatheter aortic valve implantation, which is a surgical technique, and he did the first case in 2002.
Sorry. How can we? No, it's okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. It was not the slideshow at that time. So what he spoke was, can we have the sound up?
In aortic stenosis patients with degenerative aortic stenosis, and if the valve is not replaced at the onset of the symptoms, the mortality rate is extremely high. So many patients cannot be operated on for surgical valve replacement, and this is why I developed a non-surgical technique, for doing the same, replacing the aortic valve without surgery. And so I started in 2002, and now we have more than 3 million patients implanted in the world, in more than 80 countries. So it's a very big success, which was absolutely unpredictable. So today, in a single year like 2022, we had 200,000 patients implanted in the same year in the world. And so just to give you an idea of the development of this technology, which allowed to replace the aortic valve under local anesthesia, with very short hospitalization, the patients are able to be discharged after the operation just 2 days later. And so it's very successful, and so I was very happy to be invited in Calcutta for the CSI meeting, where I presented the history of development of this technology, and people were really very much interested, and they welcomed me with a lot of enthusiasm. So this is where we are today, and the future is bright, with the development of the technology again, with advanced technology.
So this was I never expected that after December. Because in February 2024 he had a sudden cardiac death, and his injection first was not so bad, and it was so this was one of the videos which I wanted to show you when he was working. He was one of the best angioplaster I ever seen. People thought he was only structure. No, he did FFR, he did everything, complex left vein, osteo left vein, distal bifurcation, even 96, 97, 98. So he was one of the best interventional cardiologists as such, doing transseptal like these. So coming to the few videos more, this was when he came to my house in 2015, and it was one of the fantastic video, and he was in a very humorous mood. And this is So I want to share this video because he is unfortunately no more, and he said he scored and he did something very humorous. One of the most humorous guy I've ever seen in my life, and nobody, in fact, in the whole world, this is just a symbolic he is doing. So this was, he was one of the best person I have ever come across, working in Rouen. Then he was driving a car in Rouen when I was there in 2022. Then putting a tap on my, this was during the TAVI celebration, and he was wanting me to speak something, and I said, okay, we'll speak. And then the way he used to have a lot of affection for me, I've just told only 3 minutes left, okay, sorry. So I have to really rush. These are few slides which I wanted to do. So coming on to the developing TAVI road littered with pitfalls. Lessons learned from the experience of the future innovation. Having an idea is not enough. Translating it into reality requires a combination of elements, proving that your idea is good, mental strength capable of overcoming criticism, finding the right partner of the finances to advance, rigorous scientific research, respecting the process of optimal practice research. Failure of any of these can lead to failure of entire project. This is never give up. Translating into reality requires a combination. So having an idea is not enough. This is for the future innovators. Developing of two successive innovations for the non-surgical treatment requires stenosis, attempt to solve a major unmet need. Balloon aortic valvoplasty he did 1985, published in Lancet. He became a hero at that time. And of course from 1985 to 2002, he had developed this TAVI valve. So a single goal for these two linked innovation to provide a life-saving therapeutic option for the patient with symptomatic ES and decline for the surgical valve replacement. In the 1980, 50% of them were still turned down by the surgery, the starting point of the breakthrough adventure. The first in man, I would like to tell you how this patient was there. So when we were talking about this, the most stupid project ever heard was the idea was given by many of the people, and they never wanted to really support it. Even the Edward company, Medtronic company, who were selling the TAVI like hotcake today, they refused the idea to to sponsor this project. 1985, this is a very important slide. Project Balloon and Expendable Valve. First announcement 1987. Roa Landmark autopsy study started in 1994, where it said that the stented valve can be useful for the opening of the CV aortic stenosis. They were looking for the sponsor from 1994 to 98. When I was working with him, complete failure. Opinion of experts, cardiac surgeon, the most stupid project ever heard, just forget it. Creation of PVT. Then they came with the Martin Leon, they made their own company, Percutaneous Valve Technologies, which was in New Jersey, USA. And then two engineers from Israel, Dr Cribier and Martin Leon, they partnered with and they made the valve, which was PVT hard valve 2000. Tri-reflex valve polymer, then horse pericardium, stainless steel stent, single diameter, 24. The preclinical evaluation was done, speed model, in vivo testing was done, and then of course the first in man happened in 2002 when he did this. So I want to highlight about the first in man patient. He was a 57-year-old dying patient, cardiogenic shock, EF of 12%, aortic valve area 0.68, bicuspid valve, multiple comorbidities, acute lead ischemia, float, there was no femoral artery, floating thrombus and healthy loop femoral access, failed transpetal BAV. So TAVI was the last step forward, and this was, I want to tell you, this was unplanned transseptal approach. It was not planned to be a transseptal, but at the table they decided they will do transseptal. They went from RA to LA, from IVC to RA to LA to LV, and then to aorta, and then put in the retrograde condition. And this was second bomb blast in the community. I'll take one more minute. There was stupefaction, enthusiasm, incredible, and fury of cardiac surgeons came again. So this was the first patient echocardiography, CT post TAVI was good, and the confirmation of this. And from 2002 to 2005, there were inoperable cases from all over the world, mostly in Europe. And imminent transseptal approach, survival for the early diagnosis. Can we have just 1 minute more? Just 1 minute. Just to conclude.
Can we have the slides, please?
Yeah. So this was 2002. The first in TAVI offshore was 2005. The 100 landmark was passed. Edwards take up the same company PVT, which they refused, and now the new era comes. Cribier Edward valve, Edward Sapien valve, self-expanding also came up at the same time. So I would like to just show you the last slide, which I wrote this. Of course, we are doing by Safari Wire. This was the last patient which we did Edward recently, about 2 weeks back in Delhi, and this was a successful case. So coming on to the first case which we had done, this was the only Edward XT valve, which was 2011, and recently now we have done Edward Sapien 3. And the last slide which I always want to read out before finalizing this case, there were two cases which I wanted to show, the time is not there. Just one last slide which I want to show. So this was the last slide. Yes, this is the last slide. So 37 years in PAV, 22 years in FAME, 1995, 1994, the first ROA autopsy study, 99, the startup 2000, animal experimentation 2002, the first in man 2002 and 3, ROA feasibility study 2004, feasibility study 2005 to 7, feasibility study, CE mark in Europe 2007, 2007, 2009, 10 partner 1 trial, partner 2 and partner 3, and these were of course hypothesis of the procedure. New value strategies are coming up, and now we can see more than 3 billion patients done all over the world. So thank you for giving this time, but this was not an easy journey for Dr. Cribier to start such an innovation, because we always feel, as of now, because a lot of young people may not be knowing that it had gone a lot of hiccups before coming into a routine surgical or non-surgical procedure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek. I think a wonderful enlightening talk, and in fact it's a tribute to Professor Cribier. I think he reshaped the way we look at structural cardiac interventions, and 2002 was the year when probably all this change started to occur. But one question from you, sir. You are a very
Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, you are a very good interventional cardiologist. All of us know you are very famous. But how do you manage to take out time? Because you talk of Prime Minister, he knows him. You talk of Bollywood personalities, they know him. You talk of Ambani's, they know him. So how do you manage to run cardiology?
When I'm in Delhi, I work from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. When I'm in Delhi, I work till late evening. I mean, till almost 12 midnight to 1 a.m. sometime going home. So of course our family time is disturbed. I'm really thankful to you for reminding me of Ambani's wedding, where one of the video with Ranbir Kapoor became very viral, and Ranbir Kapoor was more than happy than me. He met me next day. He said, "Okay, Vivek, it was good, Doctor, that I took your card." Thank you so much. But my stay with Dr. Cribier was one of the fantastic journey for me. And when he came to my house in Sarita Vihar, it was so fantastic. Only for 12 hours he was in Delhi, and he agreed to come for dinner at my place. Thank you very much.
Okay. Should we start? So, thank you, Dr. Vivek, sir.